Hello and welcome to Charity's Treasures. So, this weekend is again Fast Sunday. Seems like it was just Fast Sunday, but it is Fast Sunday again this weekend. And so, what am I fasting for? So, in order to say what I'm fasting for, I need to maybe explain something a little bit. As I was thinking about this week, I was thinking about a cat. Yes, a cat. So a cat, sometimes we get a cat gifts, right? Something that the cat can play with, right? And so when we get this cat, the toy or whatever it is that we get this cat to play with, we show the cat the toy or whatever it is. And then we kind of tease the cat, right? We put it in front of its face, and then the cat kind of paws at it, jumps at it, but then we move it away from the cat, right? And so the cat is like, what are you doing? Right? And so we continue this process. But the cat, knowing the owner and knowing the experiences that he has with the owner, kind of is like, I'll play along because this is what you keep doing. I'm used to this when you get me a new toy. And so the cat continues to play along. Sometimes it might get frustrated. Sometimes it might be like back off a little bit, but eventually it understands that the owner is going to let him have the toy after they play around, play this game a little bit, right? And so that's what I was thinking about this week as I was thinking about what I should fast for. So, in keeping in mind with the cat and the relationship that cat has with the owner, I was thinking about something that I think we all experience. And so that's why I'm going to share a little bit of this experience so you can relate, because maybe you're at the beginning of this experience, the middle of this experience, the end of this experience, but I think we all, in some degree, experience this process that we go through. And this process we go through is with God, right? And so I feel like I'm at the end of this process, and when it first started, I thought that it wasn't going to be such a long process, right? So as I think about this experience and what I'm fasting for, I think, okay, so maybe a little bit like 2.5 years ago or so, a little bit before my son went on a mission, God put these, I guess you could say, and you could relate it to your own life in a different way, but experiences, circumstances, or ideas, thoughts that happened, events maybe, into my mind. And there was first like a series of maybe events, right? Circumstances. And at the time, I didn't really think about it, right? So I didn't think about these circumstances in any way. But after like maybe the third circumstance, event, idea, whatever it is that you're going through, I had a dream about these circumstances. And I was like, at first, I wasn't paying attention to these events, right? I wasn't paying attention. I didn't notice really anything. But after this dream, looking back, I did notice these events and circumstances. And I was like, why are you putting this into my mind? Why are you putting this idea into my mind? And why didn't I notice these few circumstances? And they were kind of back-to-back circumstances, events. And so I was like, okay, Heavenly Father, you're putting this into my mind for some reason. So I got these ideas, right? I got these thoughts. And I was like, okay, well, this is going to come about pretty quickly. And, but no, it didn't, right? So like months went by, nothing pertaining to this idea in my head, progressed the idea or made it flow into fruition in any way. And so I was like, okay, I was kind of forgetting about this idea. And then a few little circumstances within the year happened where this idea maybe came into my head a little bit more, but nothing very profoundly. or to any understanding of my own. And then, like maybe a year or so after this initial dream that I had, and I had been dreaming about this for the whole year. That's why it was kind of in my head, like Heavenly Father's dangling this like blessing or whatever you might call it, in toy, whatever, in my head, in my mind. He's letting me see it through these dreams. And I honestly haven't dreamt of one thing so much as I did this thing. And so about a little bit over a year, a circumstance came where this thing like kind of just showed up, right into my face. And it was a surprise. Like I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't aware that God was going